Don't think small ball. Think quality at bats. Do you think the Dodgers should play more small ball with the bottom lineup? So here's the point behind that. This is a great point. And this goes against statisticians, but yet it also kind of supports modern day analytics. And here's both sides of the small ball argument for modern day analytics. Modern day analytics would tell you never intentionally give up an out to gain a base. That's like the dumbest thing you can do in the game of baseball. Like just a modern day analytic, when you break down the entire game, you want to know what modern day analytics will tell you is the number one most valuable thing in baseball, Austin?
What's that?
An out. Whether that's giving up an out or getting an out. Getting an out or giving up an out, you only have 27 of them. Mm-hmm. So if you give up an out, that literally is the most precious and the most valuable thing from a data and analytical perspective in the game. So by giving away outs, you are giving away analytically the most precious thing there is in terms of when you crunch the data that leads to winning and losing. So the argument against small ball with modern day analytics is there is no scenario to where intentionally giving up an out to gain a base is a positive outcome for an offense. Where are you at on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a little bit of an analytics guy. I typically do not like, in the vast majority of situations, to give up any type of out. That is something that just not something. Now it can vary a little bit depending on the type of situation, and particularly the type of player that you have up there. You have to have a little bit of awareness for where the game is right there. But it comes down to run expectancy in certain situations and the ability to be able to execute. So when it comes down to small ball, do you trust the players at the bottom of this lineup for the Dodgers to be able to execute in those different types of situations? And what do you expect to be the follow-up situation from there? And then most of the time, not really a huge fan of playing a whole lot of small ball. Just my personal opinion, though.
Yeah, sure. And I could say this, I've never seen Andy Pages bunt one time in my life. I've been watching him since 2021. I've seen just about every minor league game he's played in some form or fashion. I've seen just about every major league game he's played. So however many games that is, 500-600 games, I've seen every one of them. I've probably seen every one of his at-bats. Mm-hmm. I cannot remember one time watching Andy Pages bunt. I mean, I don't know what it looks like. I've never seen it. So I think Chris Taylor could bunt, definitely. I think Kike is a guy that offensively, he's not your small ball guy. He's your guy that you hope that he gets one hit every other game. And you hope that hits like in the seventh inning when you're down 2 and you have 2 men on and it's a 3-run homer. That's what Kike Hernandez is for this offense. So should they play small ball? Here, let me put it to you this way. I'm not a fan of small ball, meaning intentionally giving up outs. What I'm a fan of is playing a style of offensive baseball that does not include empty outs. So when I say empty out, I mean like a lazy fly ball to the center fielder and no runner's advance. Mm-hmm. And like what got me frustrated with Kike Hernandez the other night, he made a first pitch out, he made a second pitch out, and this goes to what you were saying is a positive thing for Andy. It's the exact opposite for Kike. He made a first pitch out, a second pitch out, and he had a 4-pitch at bat. He had seen 7 pitches, 3 at bats, and he was 0 for 3. So whenever you work a pitcher, that's not empty because you're emptying their tank, and then you're also allowing your people in the dugout to see the pitcher more. So this is a very simple way of don't think, in my opinion, don't think small ball. Think quality at bats.
Yes.
So what I want to see from so in a 7-inning game in high school, we had a mandatory 15 quality at bats. And for every quality at bat that we did not get, that we were under 15, we had a certain amount of really not fun conditioning that we had to do. Okay. So what is a quality at bat? Any at bat where the hitter ends up on base. I don't care how. Hit by pitch, walk, base hit, home run, you name it. If you end up on base, that's a quality at bat. So in the major leagues, the exit velo, hard contact is considered 95 miles an hour or above. Mm-hmm. Hard contact is a quality at bat. Okay, because if you keep having hard contact over and over, odds will say eventually you're going to start gathering hits, and the odds will say it's going to work out for you. So on base in any way you can, okay, hard contact, which is 95 miles an hour and over, okay, moving a runner to third base with less than 2 outs, meaning you can now score that runner from third without a base hit. That qualifies as a quality at bat. And then now listen carefully, this is where you can debate. Any at bat, no matter what the result is, that is 6 pitches or above. 6 pitches or above of an at bat, that's basically a full count, and then you have a delivery on a full count, and let's say that you strike out. Quality at bat, it's 6 pitches. So you say, well, he struck out, he got out. Why is that quality? Well, because you just put 6 pitches in the tank against the pitcher you're seeing, and then you gave probably in that 6 pitches, they threw 3 different pitch types, a fastball, a changeup, and a slider, and everybody in the dugout got to see it. So instead of thinking small ball, what the bottom of the line, see, to me, Shohei Ohtani just needs to go up there and be Shohei Ohtani. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teo Hernandez, Will Smith, they just need to go be dudes, okay? Don't even put crap like that in their head. But to your marginal players, what you tell them is, you guys, if you have 3 at-bats, 2 of them need to be quality at-bats. At the end of the night, in a 9-inning game, you need to have a minimum of 18 quality at-bats. If you do that, basically for every 3 quality at-bats, you should score a run. So, and that was another metric we had. If we had 15 quality at-bats, that would be 5 runs. So for every time that we didn't score at least 1 run in 3 quality at-bats, I put that on me as a coach. I wasn't being aggressive enough. I wasn't sending runners. I wasn't stealing base. That's my fault. Yeah. If we're not scoring 1 run every 3 quality at-bats, that's a coaching issue. So that's kind of how you break it down there. So instead of thinking small ball, use those metrics for quality at-bats, count them up, and see how close the Dodgers get to 18. And all bottom 4 guys in the lineup, I don't give a rat's ass if they get a base hit. They need to have a quality at-bat. And another reason, I'm rambling here, that you use the term quality at-bat instead of base hits is because base hits are hard, which means they're never going to have positive reinforcement. So a quality at-bat, you can actually have a pretty consistent flow of positive reinforcement because you're creating goals and standards that are actually attainable on each at-bat. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I think that's something that you want to see from the bottom of the lineup. And I think it's something that can happen a lot more. I think we're seeing a little bit more quality at-bats from a player like Max Muncy recently. I think we've seen Andy Pages go deep into a lot of counts. The actual quality of contact has not been great for Andy Pages, but he's working deep into counts. So you can say, okay, there's at least a little bit of something positive right there. So you're looking for some of those positive signs, and especially for professionals that have done it for quite a long time, once they start getting a little bit more quality at bats in there, I think you're going to start to see them have a little bit more success as they keep going from there. So I think it first starts with just do your job and go out there and be productive, be somebody that continues to be an annoyance to the pitchers and causes them to throw a lot of pitches, or just go out there and be able to execute as best as you possibly can.